Let's dive into these new sticker books from Planything to set up some fun Dutch doors in my daily journal. And if you would like to see how I do that, stay tuned. What's up everyone, this is Priya here. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning. And if this is the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Here I share tips, ideas and inspiration to make your planner and journal spreads pretty and functional. So how is everybody doing today? As you can see, this is the new release that is coming from Planything, and it releases on Feb 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific. And I will have all that information down in the description. As you can see, that's my last set of pages. The setup is already on my channel, and I'm using some of the Mojo Jojo Plans sticker books to have some stability so that I can lay it flat and get started. And all of these goodies, I do have a separate flip through of these books that is linked below, and my code Priya10 earns you 10% off when you shop Planything, and it's usually applicable on most things except for the current subscription boxes. And for the older subscription boxes and everything else on the site, the code earns you 10% off. She usually comes out with the individual sticker books after a couple of months from the previous sub boxes, and then you can still use my code, and it's a great deal when you can have that used on top of all the amazing prices. So please check that out. I have all of that information linked below. And there is an additional book that is also releasing. I do not have that with me. And thank you once again, Amber, for sending me these goodies ahead of time so that I could share with all of you. And these are all the washi tapes that are also coming. And I'm trying to use what's available on the website so that you can go and grab it right away. Because otherwise, I do get lots of questions on where they can find it. I also have other washi tapes all from Planything, and I have tried to make sure that as of the day of filming, most of these washi tapes are available to shop. And as you can see, I'm using my tried and tested technique to make some fun Dutch doors, and this will be in my daily journal. And the journal is a B5 from Archer and Olive, and this has been my daily journal. I started last year and I have been loving it ever since, and it is a fun thing I can do, so much creativity to explore. And yeah, so between the seasonal ambience, which also has a spring themed sheet, I'm trying to see what other collections can work together, because I will not have enough to last me the entire spread. So I'm combining these together so that both of these are still available. So symmetry is really key when I make these pages. You could decorate just on one side and call it a day, but if you have been following me, you know how I like to have such fun components even when I turn the page. So that is the next page. And before you ask, that clip, that vintage lady hand, is from Journal Say. My code Priya earns you 8% off at Journal Say, and it's usually stackable if it's in stock. And all the details are in the description. And going with the next washi tape, and that scissors are also from Journal Say. This was part of something I picked up recently. I had some gift cards I had to use up. So I went shopping and used up most of my gift cards. There is still a bit left. And you see how just that cutting over the stickers to remove the washi tape, it makes it so much easier. And that gyro cut comes in really handy when I do such cutting. And for the straight edges, I prefer to use the scissors. One, because it's easier, and second, the gyro cut works great for edges and certain shapes. It does not work great for straight lines. So I'm going back for the third page, and I'm also trying to see what else I can bring in. And I will also, I'm also sorting through my Planny Things sticker books to see what other things can be pulled from, especially if they are still available. I would prefer to reach for them, right? The more the merrier. All of these spring elements can be used throughout your spring, or you can use it throughout the year just to brighten up your weeks. If the winter blues are getting to you, I think it's a great way of using up some of those stickers and also making sure that you bring some cheer to your days. Let me know if you use a journal and how you get into that habit, because I do get lots of questions on, especially when I have all these Dutch doors happening. People do wonder how I use them. So I had shared how I actually use my journal and one of the weeks all filled in. So that I think answered a lot of questions I used to get. And I will link all that information on all those videos. So I wanted to also use that butterfly, which are a great part of spring. So the dragonflies, butterflies, birds, chicks, all of those are very spring themed, if you ask me. And again, if you are in the northern hemisphere, spring is what you will be looking forward to. But if you are in the southern hemisphere, I'm sure you're done with the summer heat and you're looking forward to fall. So this is, and for you, I think you will have a better chance of grabbing these once they go on sale, once the season is done for the northern hemisphere. And you see how those layers just start forming one after the other. And before we get to the next set of Dutch doors, I thought I would come and fill in the symmetrical parts first so that I will know what is left, because I don't want to use up the stickers elsewhere and then struggle to match stickers to the shapes we have going on. So that is the process here. You see how simple it is. It is just, if it's a printable sticker, then you have the exact, you can decide the orientation. So it gets a lot easier. I do have tutorials on how you can size your printable stickers if you are somebody who works that way. I will have that tutorial linked as well. And please check out the other fun Dutch door setups I have. I use my daily journal, which is the B5, which you currently see. And I forgot to mention that these from Archer and Olive, or anything from Archer and Olive, in fact, my code Priya10 earns you 10% off when you shop, and it's usually stackable just like with the Planny thing, and it's the same code. So I think there is a bit of a uniformity there, which is easier to remember if you ask me. And just flipping the pages and making sure that I have the certain shapes, because I wanted to use the limited space we have, because there is another page that we would like to use, and I do not want to just use up the entire page because I need one more page. And just trying to decide which other washi tape would be better. And I think, yeah, the lavender can come in now. And see how quick and fun this is, because it is so much simpler than people think. So again, the same process. I'm just keeping it very minimal here, if you can call that. And it would be, you see, once you have the correct tools, and of course with a bit of practice. My tutorial for the gyro cut lets you do the cutting the right way because there is a certain way you want to hold and you don't want to fight against how the actual blade works. So that is that side done. So we are going to try and use up that set of stickers for the symmetrical parts, and yeah, I think that comes together effortlessly. And that is the last page for the right side. And again, I'm trying to use up a couple of these smaller elements, and we still need stickers for the very last page and the page on the left. So that is the last page, and I still am refraining myself from using up the eggs and all of those cute Eastery clusters. So we are going simpler this way. So just trying to make sure that the layers don't overlap too much, because I want all the other layers to be visible when you open the page. So we are going with the yellow. And if you noticed the sticker book, if you watch the flip through, you will see that it has those alphabets with all the spring florals in them. And I have a fun idea on how I can bring that in. And that is why I'm trying to make sure that I have certain layers going on, and then I would also try to balance out some of the colors that we have going on either side. So that is the very last page. And sometimes with clear stickers, and these are all clear matte stickers, so it is, again, you see how all the layers are going very well. And because the washi tape is scalloped edge, I'm going ahead and cutting off that scallop so that it can be nice, and it's a fun pattern, right? So that is, once you cut off the main pages, it comes out so pretty. And now to get started with the symmetrical aspect before we go to the left page. So again, just trying to match some of those colors and the shapes. And the colors not so much, because I think both these collections went very well. So that is the advantage of taking a couple of minutes in the beginning before you kind of finalize on the collections, and trying to match the scalloped edges. And that way, I think cutting is so much easier. Please let me know what your favorite washi tapes are. As in, is it some patterns or scalloped edges like these, or stripes or grid? I know lots of people prefer the script because it just works with a lot more stickers. And I'm going in to finish off that side. And yeah, that was not bad. So that we have the first page all done, and that self-healing cutting mat and the gyro cut are all linked below, along with all the tools and everything I use, because again I'll get lots of questions on those. And I'm using all the washi tapes we used on the right pages to bring some balance, and I'm just straightening that one. And I'm using all the washi tapes just one next to the other. And that itself makes it really colorful, if you can see. And those are some really lovely colors, perfect pastel spring colors. And now let's use the alphabets. So I'm using the same technique to lay it down straight. It was not discovered by me. Somebody in the planner community used it to line up the alphabets along a ruler. You can have it horizontally or vertically, however you want to use that, and it's quite handy, I must say, and I use it whenever I have to align them straight. So we have all those alphabets. I think the sizes are a bit different, but I think it just goes well with whatever we have going on. And since we need only a limited amount of space for all these alphabets, I think we will have still room for a couple of stickers, and using some of those florals, and we can have a spring garden. And yeah, all these colors are really nice and soft and perfect for the start of spring. And I think that lines up perfectly at that corner with the bird couple poking out. And of course, they will need some kind of birdhouse or something of that sort. They have their nest, of course. And we will bring in the, I'm also trying to make sure that we already have a birdhouse in there. I'm not repeating the elements. So that is something I like to focus on as well. And sometimes what happens is, yeah, you have the birdhouse, some of those spring components, and we will also bring some of the other florals in the back, and some of those clusters do have some butterflies also, and really soft watercolory florals in all these colors. And I think it goes really well with the whole aesthetics of what we have going on otherwise. Just trimming off the edges, and these scraps can be quite handy, see, to fill up such small spaces. And these are, can you see how nice and soft these are? And yeah, we will need some more of the, I think, a hat. Yeah, I think that goes better there. And I will also, yeah, that didn't, because of all the elements going on, I will have to kind of make sure I have it laid down straight. And those dots are really helpful, I must say. And that's the advantage of the dot grid journals, right? And I had once done a comparison of the different brands I have on hand. And I think that way you get to compare the spacing of the grids. And if you are somebody who's particular about the spacing and the colors and all that, I had once done that. I will link that video in the description. And you see how helpful that clip is to hold the pages down so that you can work without any hesitation, and it just holds it in place. And on to the next page. And I also have an A5 journal, which I really prefer the bigger sizes because I write big. And I am also decorating an A5 journal. I have the full setup. I just started with it because I will be meeting a few family and friends. So I'm getting a journal ready to gift to one of them. And that's the next. My Dutch doors are, I try to keep it symmetrical with the washi tapes and also with the stickers. So you can see that I'm using the exact same washi tape I used on the other side of the page. And that is the Dutch door done. I didn't realize I had missed the top part. And I'm going in with the corner rounder to kind of round the edges for the ones that are really sharp. And let's now trim off the washi tapes. And even here, the corner rounder does not work great if it is really thin elements in the corner. So that is, I think, pretty much the decorative elements done, unless we want to use some decorative elements with the clusters, because I will be using some boxes also. And I'm also loving these sticker books have perfectly color coordinated boxes also with each collection. So that comes really helpful when you pull your spreads or even in your journal pages like these. I love when everything is so well coordinated and with such pretty decor. How can you not like it? It is, that's, you see what I just checked? I made sure that the boxes are hidden behind those elements, and I'm going in with the whiteout so that that flower pot can sit right there. And I like to bring some of the same colors we have going on each page, and I'm using some of the elements from the spring sticker book and also from the seasonal ambience. So between the two of them, I think you can work very well when it comes to the clusters, or even you saw how effortlessly that came together. And I'm trying to be very mindful of not using up any other collections because there is more fun content coming. So please make sure you come follow me on Instagram. I do share sneaks and a bit more of the spreads, and maybe you get a sneak into my personal life, all of that over on Instagram. And please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification so that you wouldn't miss any of the future videos. Lots of fun videos coming, and these shapes and boxes, that's also coming this month on Feb 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And my code Priya10 earns you 10% off. So don't wait on these are going to sell out really fast. I can already say that because these are gorgeous. And yeah, that is pretty much some of those two sticker sheets are done. And we might even come and add some of these elements to bring some colors to that page because it was just too much white. And I'm trying to also bring a couple more colors in here, a couple more boxes to balance it out. And I think we should be almost done. And please find all the videos I mentioned along with all the shops and codes, everything in the description. And let me know how you like these, and also please let me know what your favorite season is and why, because everybody has their own reasons. So that just got stuck to the sticker. So just, you see how helpful that tweezer is. I think it's one of my very well used and most loved tool these days. And using some of those elements on the other page. And adding some of that black and white washi for a small pop. And this was, I'm not sure if this grid, this hexagon pattern washi is available. That's also from Planything. And I will add a couple more elements, a couple more finishing touches. And if you like something, please make sure that you grab it from Planything because she does not do frequent restocks. So once it's sold out, it may not be coming back for a while. So that is the best advice I can give anybody who loves the Planything products. Myself included, I've had a couple of instances where I've really repented on not picking them up on time. And I'm using the Pigma Micron pens to add some stitches, some patterns to the boxes so that the colors actually pop. And there are some simple patterns, some dotted line stitches, some lines, some simple circles, some broken lines, keeping very, very simple patterns anybody can do. And those, I think, actually make a lot of difference. Let me know if you like to decorate your boxes like these. Occasionally I do, not all the time, but it does make a difference in the overall look of the boxes. And that is pretty much the whole process. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you go shopping and grab these goodies right away. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.